back to my channel. My name is Hope and I am a photographer and business coach based in Charleston, and this channel is where I share educational content for entrepreneurs as well as a little bit of a peek in my life in the low country. And today's video, if you follow me on Instagram, has been one of the most requested videos. People are blowing up my DMs asking me questions about the R6 because I just bought it. So the R6 has been out for a while now. I've seen a lot of photographers switching to mirrorless, buying the R6, testing it out, and I was just slow to get on the bandwagon. Like, I was waiting to see everybody's feedback. I'm an if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of person. So I've been shooting with a 5D Mark III for like 6 years now, and I actually have 2 of them, as well as an RP camera for filming my own YouTube videos. So I have a plethora of equipment and didn't really feel like I had a need for an R6, but I started seeing people raving about it, and I just really felt like I wanted to test it out for myself, and that I was gonna send it back if I didn't like it and didn't need it. In full transparency, before I even get into this video, I am not a technical person. I do not really care as much about camera specs as much as I just care about the final result and the way the camera feels in my hand and how easy it is to use. Like I said, I'm an if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of person. My workflow works with my Mark III. I'm so used to shooting wedding days and portrait sessions with that if this camera came and felt wildly different to me, if the color profiles were crazy different in post-processing, if anything about it just didn't feel right to me, I was planning on sending it back. I have only used it once so far, so this video is very much a first impressions video. I'm gonna do a little bit more of an in-depth video and hopefully show you guys some editing down the road, but right now I'm just gonna share my first impressions, and I am admittedly very impressed with this camera so far. So I'm coming from a 5D Mark III. I bought the R6 with the control ring adapter. So if you're not familiar with the R6, I basically view the R6 as the mirrorless equivalent to the 5D Mark III. It's their top tier mirrorless camera. It's got amazing reviews. People are raving about it. And so I got the control ring that goes with it so that I can still use my Canon EF lenses. So because the camera is mirrorless and it has a whole lineup of its own lenses, you can get the lenses, but they're way more expensive. And I wasn't really looking to upgrade all of my glass. I have so many lenses that it just felt really unnecessary for me to buy a whole new set of RF lenses. So instead, I got the control ring. So now I can just use my Canon EF lenses on the mirrorless R6. So that's the first big question I've been getting, is if I upgraded my glass or if I just got the adapter, and I did get the control ring. So what's cool about this ring is I got like the more advanced version. There's a different adapter, but this one has a control ring, which means I can customize this ring to change any of the settings that I want it to change. So I can customize this to change shutter speed, ISO, aperture, Kelvin. I can do whatever I want. I think I'm going to customize it to change Kelvin. I feel like that's the one I'm ending up changing the most often, but we'll see. Again, this is just first impression. So first impression when I opened the box was that it is definitely a lot smaller and lighter than my Mark III. Now that I'm holding this, I feel like my Mark III is going to feel really clunky and like big in my hands. When I put a lens on it and with the adapter and the control ring, it's definitely like similar weight, but the body itself feels a lot more like small and easier to hold. So I liked that. I thought that it felt like kind of more just like high tech and advanced because it's just so compact compared to what I'm used to with the Mark III. The only time I have used this camera so far was actually to have my mom take content pictures of me. We went on to a fun little influencer brunch over the weekend. So she took pictures of me with it and I took pictures with it at the brunch. And the thing that I am most impressed by so far that I really want to focus on in the video today is the autofocus features and the way that the focus works, because I am blown away. This camera has dual pixel autofocus, which just means that it's a way more advanced focusing system than the 5D Mark III. It has things like face tracking, and the images that come out of it are crazy, ridiculously sharp. So one of the things that I really love about this so far that's a very obvious, clear change from the Mark III is that this has a touchscreen. So the back of the camera is completely touchscreen, and it also flips out. The flip out feature makes it really, really easy for filming your own YouTube videos because you can flip it out, see yourself, makes the entire process easier. The Mark III doesn't have that at all. And it's also completely touchscreen. So I can change every single setting and adjust everything on the back of this just by touching the screen. But the thing that I am crazy impressed by is the drag focus option, and then the fact that you can touch the back screen for a shutter as well. So when my mom was taking pictures of me, all she had to do was look at the back of the screen, tap on my face, and in one quick motion, it focused and took the picture all at once. And the pictures that came out of that are so crazy sharp, and it was my mom. She's not a photographer at all. And you can also see your settings change in live action on the back of the screen. So you're literally seeing a live sample of the photo, which means that you can adjust the shutter speed and the ISO and see exactly what the photo is going to look like before you take it, which makes the whole process a lot easier and made it way easier for my mom, who is not a professional photographer. The last thing that I'm super impressed with and I'm really excited to try at an actual shoot or a wedding day is the drag to focus feature. And it also has EVF, which means electronic viewfinder, which means when I look through the viewfinder, I'm seeing a live example of what would normally be on this screen. And the coolest thing is you can use your thumb to drag along the screen and see that through your viewfinder and just tap to focus. So I'm not having to now manually like hurry and scurry around to select the focal point. I literally just tap and drag on the screen, and you can literally tap anywhere in the frame and it is going to just focus at a rapid, crazy speed, and it's crazy sharp every time. On the 5D Mark III, the focal points to the far side of the frame on either side and towards the top and bottom of the frame are slightly less accurate than the focal points in the center of the frame, and that's true of most DSLRs. But with the R6, I found so far that I could focus in the top right corner, in the very, very, very tip of the corner, and it would be just as sharp as if I focused right in the center. And you can literally just do that with a tap of your finger on the back of the touchscreen. So far I am crazy impressed with the R6. I'm gonna have a way more detailed video for you at some point, but I just wanted to give you my first impression, my initial thoughts, because I have so many of you asking. But in the future, I'm gonna share a little bit more about like final images I take once I get a chance to use it at a real shoot and at a real wedding day. And I'll actually help you guys kind of talk through what settings I changed to make it work for me coming directly from a Mark III. So be sure to subscribe to the channel to see more of that in the future. I hope this video was helpful to you, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.